I didn't see you there. Hello, 7th grade. Happy Wednesday. We're going to go over the answers to choosing the right word. And I'm actually going to start us on those answers before we really get into it with number 5. Now, for number 5, I just cannot decide which one of these is correct. I think that both of them fit the context, both of them fit the part of speech. I could take a guess based on my knowledge of books like this, but I don't look at the teacher's version. I just have the student version and I do it with you guys. And so as I was going through, I got to number 5. Jorge and Luis both want to be friends again, but somehow their sincere efforts have been stalemated, wilted. I just couldn't decide. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that up as a question in Google Classroom pretty much as soon as this video is up. So you can go in and just tell me what you think, and then you'll earn some extra credit if you tell me why. But just go in and take a quick vote on Google Classroom whether you think that number 5 is stalemated or wilted. So let's take a look at number 4. And then I'll just go through and I'll be reading each one just with the correct word put into the place. So make sure that you're following along with me. And if you find that you have a question, just shoot me a message on Jupiter, make a comment on this video, or add a comment in Google Classroom, and I'll make sure to get back to you as soon as I can. Number 4, the wonders of nature are as innumerable as the grains of sand on the seashore. Instead of resorting at once to armed force, the nations resolved the conflict by entering into a diplomatic dialogue. Number 7. In spite of all the criticism, our flag still stands throughout most of the world as an emblem of justice and freedom. Number 8. After World War II, the United States was not vindictive toward its former enemies, but tried to help them recover and rebuild. Number 9, for many years, Benedict Arnold served his country faithfully, but then he disgraced his name for all time by an infamous act of treason. Number 10, contract talks have been stalled for weeks, and nothing either side has suggested can seem to break the stalemate. Number 11, adequate is simply not good enough. The company president said, "We want to be the best in our field." Number 12, the facts of history cannot always be arranged in the form of a smooth and logical narrative. 13, the man has such a gigantic ego that absolutely nothing ever seems to fluster, faze, or deflate him. 14, I implore you not to take this reckless action, the city council president pleaded with the mayor. Number 15, I wish you had mulled over all the pros and cons before you made your final decision. 16, I was a little miffed when my polite overtures of friendship were so rudely and nastily rejected. 17, though jaywalking may not be considered a misdemeanor, let me try that again. Though jaywalking may be considered a misdemeanor, murder is definitely not. Number 18, some parents are quite strict with their children. Others are somewhat lax and permissive. Number 19, instead of continuing to mull over the injustices that people have done to you, forget about the past and concentrate on the future. Number 20, our high hopes for an easy victory wilted away to nothing as we watched our opponents steadily increase their lead over us. Number 21, as I look over your record, I get the impression that your background in math and science is not adequate for an engineering course. Number 22, since I am willing to contribute to any worthy cause, there is no need to implore me for aid in such an emotional way. Number 23, her insistence on studying the terms of our tutoring agreement made me think that I'd signed a pact with a lawyer. Number 24, I will not allow our long and much cherished friendship to be marred by this unfortunate misunderstanding. And number 25, I prefer narrative fiction to drama or poetry. Now again, remember you can go back into Google Classroom and just do a quick vote on whether you think number 5 is stalemated or wilted. Let me know what you think. I'd love to sort of get those opinions and hear why, and see that you guys are really working with these words and seeing that many different words could fit into a lot of these sentences. Now let's go ahead and look at synonyms and antonyms. Obviously, you guys know the directions already. You don't need me to go through that with you. What we are going to do is we're just going to look through the original words, and I'm going to help you with those if I can. Committed a vengeful act against his accuser. For that one, the word that you're going to want to use to remember that is vengeance, which is one of our old vocabulary words. So if you get stuck and you can't quite remember, vengeance, I'm looking back at the word list. You can find vengeance on page 74. Page 74 is where you're going to get the definition for vengeance, which will help you find the synonym for vengeful, which is the adjective form. So you're looking for an adjective that means something similar to vengeance for number 1. A peaceful scene by the home fire. I think you guys can figure those words out. Number 3, a trash heap that would deface the view. So that you're going to look for a verb, and you're looking for a verb that means mess up. When something is defaced, it's messed up. Something's not right about it. Someone's drawn over it or erased it or done something to hurt the appearance. Number 4, began to hang downward in the extreme heat. I think you can figure that one out. It's exactly what it sounds like. Number 5, wears an insignia on his collar. An insignia, inside that word, you're going to see the word sign. An insignia is a symbol of something. So like this right here is an insignia of the place where I'm going to grad school. It's their symbol. It's the sign that they use to indicate that it's theirs. Refused to make the first advance. An advance in this sense is a move forward. Signed an accord that would end the fighting. There we're looking for an agreement. Number 7, your synonym would be for an agreement. Number 8, so negligent in her duties. She hasn't been doing what she's supposed to do. She's been ignoring the things that she's supposed to be doing. She's been negligent. Number 9, to treat the crime as a little mishap. Use my tone of voice there to help you guess the context and the connotation here. Well, it's just a little mishap. It's no big deal. It's fine. It's just a little mishap. It's fine. And number 10, picked up where the anecdote left off. Now, I am not going to tell you what the word anecdote means. I'm going to tell you that you can find its definition on page 62. You can find the definition for the word anecdote on page 62. I'm not going to tell you what it is because... All right, we're looking at antonyms now. Remember, these are going to be the opposite. So you're looking in number 1, the opposite of a violent criminal act. Maybe a criminal act that wasn't so bad, or maybe something really positive. I don't quite know without looking through the definitions. The lovely conclusion of the symphony. Conclusion, of course, is the end. A house with a working air conditioner. Not sure what that is. A completely meaningless gesture. A gesture, of course, is something that you're doing with your body to indicate your meaning. And so a completely meaningless gesture, something that you're doing that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you're doing. And a wonderfully merciful person. Mercy is to be full of an outpouring love. We talk about God often as merciful. So we're looking for the opposite of that, which, isn't really what I want to be talking about, but I did not get to write this book. So I hope that you guys found that helpful. I know I went through those kind of fast. What might work for you if you just watched this video and are like, oh my gosh, that's so many definitions, that's so many different words. Restart from where we start synonyms and antonyms and just go through as I read each one. Listen to me give you that clue for either the part of speech, a similar word, or the definition of the word, and pause it. Look through your resources, answer the question, and then play the video, watch through until you get to the next one. Hopefully that will help you even more, and I look forward to seeing you guys at the table or on Google Classroom soon.